Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Emo Sob Pod. My name is Tracy and I am your host. So, the subject for today's little episode is coping skills in light of my recent inability to do so. And I Googled a list of things that can help, and since it helped me, I figured it might help you. Apologies if I have any salad in my teeth. I didn't check, and I'm not looking. I'm looking at you, not at me. So, all right. So, and I'm looking at this book where I got this list. All right. So, coping skills, things that can help you when your feelings are just, you got so big, your emotions are so huge that they feel like they're threatening to overwhelm you. You feel like you're just going to fly apart at the atomic level. I've been there recently. But I didn't fly apart at the atomic level, probably because I did some of these things. Now, these may or may not help you, but used in combination, they really do make a difference. All right, so the first things that help immediately, like it's 911 emergency, you need something to help. I actually did a video about that at the very beginning of this show, this channel, but we'll go on. Anyway, breath work. Breath work really helps. Take a great big deep breath. Let's do it with me. Big deep breath. Do it 3 times. Slow on the exhale. That was a little fast on my exhale because I took that in really fast and it was like, ah. So slower on the exhale than on the inhale. You do that 3 times and it's like taking a 5 milligram Valium according to science. Like they put electrodes on people's heads. And anyway. So exercise is the next thing. So exercise. Do you some curls. Do you some planks, some push-ups. I'm going to even this out. My arms race. My left is a little bit behind the right. Just because my right arm is my primary arm. And I use it the most. So exercise, even just a tiny bit, will make a difference. That includes walking. You want to try to make sure that you are using both sides of your body. Let me put this back down. Breaking a sweat. Because it's like 83 degrees in here. Because air conditioning is expensive. It's like dental work. It's a luxury for those with money. Next thing, cold exposure. It's the middle of summer in East Tennessee, and I'm failing at the cold exposure, but we could put an ice pack on my chest. You could put an ice pack on your chest. You can hold some ice cubes in your hands. Or you can stick your whole dang face in a bowl of ice water. Preferably not water you intend to drink later. But you do you, boo. Whatever. Social connection can help in the immediate. Sometimes that's a hug. Sometimes that's, just a nice talk where you go to therapy. Or you call up a friend and say, hey, man, I need a sanity check on this because this person's been acting like this, this, and this. And I need to know whether me doing this, this, and this was kind of wrong or if that was valid and justified. Make sure you select your friend that you were calling for sanity checks very carefully because sometimes your sanity checks can backfire if you call somebody who's more insane than you are. Insane is a very inexact term and does not actually apply to any specific person. It's just a generalized thing. FYI. Anyway, so distraction is the last one on the list of things that help immediately. Distraction can be social media, but everybody knows that you sometimes get sucked in and then 3 hours later you're like, wait, what happened? 30 years later you're like, oh, I have grandkids. Oh. Yeah. Don't do that. Only distract yourself for a little while. Set a timer. Maybe write in a journal for 10, 20 minutes. Distract yourself. Don't spiral. And don't get lost. Short-term things. Things that you have to do a few times before they start working. Sleep recovery. Get you enough sleep. Oh, shoot. Immediate things that I didn't write down. Showering. Taking a shower can help a lot. Eating some food helps a lot. Just getting a little snack. Sometimes all you need is a snack and a little lie down. And then everything's better. You can feel like the world's ending. And at 81, not 84. It's 81 in here. Okay, going back to the short term. Sleep recovery. Get enough sleep. Try to do good sleep hygiene where you're going to bed at a certain time, you're waking up at a certain time. Here lately, my body's been waking up at 5:30 in the morning, every morning, all on its own, and I'm a little bit mad about it, but what are you going to do? Write down your dreams and roll back over, right? Right, yeah. Exercise is also in the short term because it helps, it keeps helping. You just keep doing it, it keeps helping. Time outdoors. Forest bathing is fantastic, even if you're just going out in the woods. You're laying down a blanket. You're laying down on that blanket, and you are crying yourself to sleep until a bear shows up and tries to eat you. You don't do that part. But go outside. Spend some time outside in nature. It helps to re-regulate you. It's something about being outside. Also, for bonus points, take your shoes off. Stick them on the ground, not the concrete. Actual soil, actual grass. Put your feet on it. See how that feels. Doesn't that feel better? Social support is another fantastic thing. It's making phone calls. It's the same stuff that in the social connection. Social support is, hey, how are you? Like, I'm struggling with some stuff. Do you care if I bend your ear about it for a little while? That's getting some social support. But you have to be willing to actually be that person for somebody else as well. Because you can't just have it be a one-way street. And try to select the people that you're leaning on for support very carefully, because I have personally run into the issue where I've leaned on people for support and they've not had the capacity to actually hold that and receive it and not get mad about it. So, pick your people very carefully. Also, reduced drug and alcohol use. I don't have that problem because I ain't doing nothing. Nicotine is nearly completely done. I threw away all the last of the Delta vape. I'm totally sober. So when you're totally sober, that's good because your mind is more clear. When you drink and you drug, you're borrowing the good and the wonderful from all your future, all your tomorrows. You're borrowing the good from it. So eventually you're going to have to pay back that debt. And I've known a lot. I work in hospice. I'm a CNA. I've seen a whole lot of people who have drank and drugged themselves out of a future. And it's really tragic to see. It's something that I've learned from working with people at the end of their lives is that every choice has a consequence. Every single one. And it's this accumulation of all those choices over time that creates the situation, the circumstances that you are in. Long-term stuff that helps. Strong relationships, which is really, really hard to do when you are dysregulated, and it's really, really hard to do when you are traumatized. Trust me, I know. Strong relationships are a giant struggle for me. Mostly because there's been enough people that have betrayed me, pretended to be my friend, and then turned on me and decided that they didn't want to be my friend in like a cruel and hurtful, extremely hurtful manner, that at this point I tend to be suspicious of people. And it's something that I actively am working to dial back. But you have to have a certain level of suspicion in order to have discernment, right? Right? So I'm figuring it out eventually. And hopefully maybe you've got some tips for me on how to have better discernment on who to trust and who to be friends with, and not be all like, oh yeah, you like me? You think I'm fun? Oh cool, let's be besties. And then getting my heart broken when they decide, hey, I'm not really into this Tracy person. Ugh. Next thing on the long term is meaningful purpose. This is something that you get to pick. You get to decide what's meaningful for you, what your purpose is. You can just decide that your purpose is making skateboards or surfboards or crocheting, or you're gonna make the world's biggest ball of snot. I have no idea. That sounds terrible. But if it's meaningful to you, then it's important and you should pursue that. As long as it's not hurting anybody else. Like, where are you getting this snot from? Exercise is also on the long-term list. And that's because it keeps helping. The more you do it, the more it keeps helping. Plus, you get fun little muscles like that. See that? Isn't that fun? It's just a little bit smaller. I mean, this one's a little bit smaller. It's not quite as nice and round. Look at that bicep. I'm so impressed with that. That's because I just did curls for no reason. Let's go to failure. And then once I got to where I got bored before I was done, before I got to failure, I got heavier weights. Because I'm a weirdo. Next thing on the list is therapy. Now, pick your therapist very carefully, because just like with the social support and the strong relationships, you have to carefully select the person that you're sharing your business with, because they could be a moron. And they could be a narcissist. They could, like, turn it around, get real defensive, act like you're the problem. And maybe you are the problem, but they could, like, deliver that message a little nicer. Sometimes those messages are delivered a little bit more harshly than anything should ever be delivered. The last two things on the list are financial and housing stability and community belonging. Now, I'm going to address the first one. Financial and housing stability is quite often outside of the capability of a person who is having a hard time emotionally with their emotional regulation. So it's give yourself grace on that one. It's hard, especially in 2026. It is hard to be financially stable and have housing stability. This economy is crap, and the government, our president has actually said with his mouth that he doesn't care about us. So that is what it is. The community belonging, our local community. Now, I'm not talking about the country. I'm not talking about the state. I'm not even talking about the city. I'm talking about your local community, maybe the community that surrounds a hobby that you have. Also find a hobby. Hobbies are good. Hobbies especially that involve other people. Like pickleball or improv. Do improv. It's more fun. There's lots of things that you can do to foster a sense of community belonging. It also helps if you're really weird. I definitely suggest improv, because you're probably not going to have very good results with most other communities if you're a weirdo, like autistic and maybe really neurodivergent. The performance arts, things like that, they tend to receive us odd birds a little bit more cleanly, and they're cooler about it. They're cooler about weird people, which is good. And that's the end of my list. I don't know why I'm still holding the book. Have any of these helped you in the past? Are any of these new to you that you might try in the future? Let me know in the comments. I look forward to hearing back from you. Also, it amuses me. It's extra bonus coping that maybe it's awful, but whatever. I don't shave my armpits, and it amuses the heck out of me when people get weird about it, because, you know, adults have armpit hair and that's just how we're built. But there's some people who get weird about that because they're so steeped in this whole like pedophilic thing that like is infiltrated all of society, it seems like. So it amuses me to keep body hair as a female. And that's one of my little coping things is thumbing my nose at the establishment and the patriarchy, the patriarchies. And I made it political, and it's fine. Cope how you want, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. And thumb your nose at people who are hateful. Because those people are just sad. Just thumb your nose and go on. Because what's the point in trying to explain to somebody who is dedicated to just not understanding you? There's no point. So don't fight with people. Cope. Go work out. Drink some water. Get a little exercise. Get a little nap. Take a shower. Don't worry about haters. Haters are going to hate. It's you that doesn't need to hate you. All right? Cool. Love you. Have a good day.